Greetings, everyone. This is Elizabeth. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are on the last part of the last minute Thanksgiving cards. This is episode number 5. And as a little thank you for this little journey, we are working on our Thanksgiving cards, even though they're last minute and, we're rushing to get things done because the holidays, they're so much fun, and the hustle and the bustle, it's really engaging and fun, and it warms the heart. So I would like to start off by telling you what I'm thankful for. I'm so thankful for Nancy's stamps, the Nancy of the Nancy stamps. She is here on YouTube. She has a beautiful channel full of fun tutorials and inspiration, and she's just a blessing to watch. I had created a logo for her. This is just a font logo, nothing extravagant or super fancy, but she really appreciated it, and I guess that's the first time that I really, I don't know how to explain it. Because, you make stuff for your friends and your family. And I did a business logo for a friend of mine. Unfortunately, her business she had lost her husband and stuff. But I did a logo for her. And of course, she loves it. But, when you're close with your friends and they say they love it and whatnot, it's different than hearing from a complete stranger that they love it. It's so cool and whatnot, but that little confirmation that maybe my designs really are good, and it's not just my friends and family saying, oh, that's great, just to be saying, oh, that's great. So from her little thank you in that video on her channel, when she announced that, that was her new logo, and she had asked me out in the open waves of the internet if I had a YouTube channel. And I panicked, of course. I said no, which I did have a channel. I did have a couple little videos, but I had done them a while back, and I wasn't pursuing it. And after she asked, and I quickly was like, no, I was like, wow. Do I have a shot at this? Would this be something people would be interested in? And that's for my next big thankful for, is all of you guys. Without you guys, my wonderful subbies who continue to watch and comment and click that like button, woohoo! Without you, I wouldn't be being pushed to enhance my creativity, to share my thought process, and hopefully inspire you, because I really love that aspect of this. Is out there, somebody's watching, whether they comment or not, something sparks something in them to create. How fun is that? So thank you to all of my subbies and all of you lovely viewers who watch. And if you share or comment, that's a big help on my channel, because the more engagements, the more YouTube little bots get out there and say, hey, you might like this person because people who also like things you like this person. So keep that in mind. If you're enjoying a YouTuber out there, definitely click and engage with that YouTuber. The like button, the comments, it really helps grow their channels. And I am most grateful for my family, who always support me. They're very loving. My husband always is out keeping an eye out for me at the shops. Hey, I found this on sale. Can you use this? Hey, how about this? Very, very awesome family support. And I always do the, hey, look what I did today. And they're very, very understanding. They sit there whether they like it or not. I don't know. But they're all, okay, yeah, that's nice. You know, my husband, he's not a crafty person, but he understands it makes me happy. So for that, I thank you all so much. And let's get started. These are the cards from the last 4 videos. So we had the watercoloring with the, this one was watercoloring. This one was alcohol markers. We did color pencils. Were they both color pencils? Yep, these ones were color pencils from the second video. These are out of the third video where we used color crayons and alcohol inks. And I'm still really liking those ones. And this was our last video where we used watercolors and a little bit of ink and some foiling and some Arteza water metallics and just some fun stuff. From doing all of these, we have some leftovers. We've got little trimmings. We had, remember this sheet where we cut out these two. We had these left that I was able to fussy cut out of there. Okay. We have that brown cardstock from most of our, and this is just one sheet of 12 by 12. Okay. I was able to do 4 cards and then I can still do something else. We had this one from our last video where we made 2 of these cards and look, I can still make more. We had this as well, because remember we were ink smushing and, well, watercolor smushing, and we had extras. So we have this. We have the shinies from behind a couple of them. Oh, here's a couple more little scraps. So we have some goodies that don't really look like much, but let's make them something fabulous. So what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to start with this one. This one might take the longest. Oh yeah, we're going to use these scrap-a-ronies. And I really enjoyed this 6x6. So I made some extra 6x6, 2 sheets of 12 by 12 cut in half and folded in half. Okay. For this, we're going to use what we already have. I know that I need half of this for one of my other cards. So we're just going to cut this little booger right down the center. Okay. So we're going to do a 6-inch because that's going to be our base. And then for this one, pardon me, something tickled my nose. We can debate right here. So I have these scraps. I think I'll use this one because I have that little sliver there. Now I want these to go on here. We may not use all of them. We can probably get a couple of cards out of it. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're going to do. Now, I don't want so much of this blue showing, so we're actually going to do a 5.5 by 5.5. If you have this particular paper trimmer, granted it stops at 5, but there's nothing that says you can't make dots, because this is a pretty straight grid. So I just made a dot at 5.5 and 5.25. Do 1 turn, and there we go. Okay, so now we have a couple more of those pieces. Yeah, that's gonna look fabulous. Okay, so I want that nice and steady because I actually need that, I think, to be still, so it's not moving around. And we don't need, well, this piece actually we need to make sure it's secure, because we're going to put all these little pieces on and we don't need it falling off. So I'm going to do 1 in the center and then the 4 edges. And you can do this with whatever scraps you have left. They can be way off base in the matching department, you know what I mean? You could do rainbow colors. Just be creative with your scraps. I have a whole box of scraps, mainly from my mom's stash. I was getting ready to throw them out because I'm not a scrap saver unless I have a project in mind. And I knew I was going to use these scraps. Normally they would just go in the garbage, but I couldn't just throw those ones away this time. But my mom, bless her heart, she had some crazy stuff she saved, and a lot of it. And I had this pile of garbage sitting there, and I'm like, I can't just throw this all away. So I'm gonna be doing something similar to this. And I got this super crooked. Can I peel it up? Nope, we're gonna live with it. It's gonna be just fine. That's all right. It happens. So then we want all of these the same length. So there's a couple that are actually a little too tall. Or do we? I didn't realize I had that many that were that tall. So I have a couple of short ones. And we don't have to use them all. And then I have a couple of long ones. Ooh, I didn't think about that. We could do something like that. Nope, that's going to be too much work. I like the idea, because then you could weave it, but that's just a little too much work. So, and I don't want a lot of open space there. So what if I butt these up really close together? We do 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I like that. But I'm thinking, see, this is probably the longest part. Is trying to decide. I think I do want them all the same size though. Okay. And I'm just gonna line it up and trim it off. Doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Especially this being watercolor cardstock, it is easy to butt those pieces right up. But always trim with your top piece being the same. Otherwise it can start to shrink a little. Okay, so we have those. I'm going to start with this guy here. And I'm just going to get my double stick tape because we know that our liquid adhesive may not stick to that. Peel. Peel. Okay. So I'm going to get in place. I'm going to kind of line this up so it has a nice little border around everything. And it doesn't have to be perfect because this is just going to be a little fun piece. So I'm going to get a little skinny one. And if you've got one thing crooked and then you find out you've got another thing crooked, just make everything crooked. Then they'll think it's on purpose. Or just tell them, you know, I didn't have my glasses on that day. Sorry. So this one is kind of low and that one's kind of high. So I'm just going to shift this up a little bit. There. See, now it's going to look like we did it on purpose. And I'm going to leave a little bit of space. And Just not be so precise about it. I think that's where a lot of people get hung up, is they're thinking, oh, it's crooked, I have to redo it. No, you don't. Just keep going. Honest to goodness. If you send your card out with all of the love and attention, and yeah, that one crooked sheet of paper, and the recipient is like, you know, that's crooked, I don't know why you sent that to me. You just say, don't worry, you'll never get another one. Because, you know, you don't need to cater to people. You do what makes you happy. So I'm going to come down a little bit with this one. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit of stacking. Come in with this one here. No, I want this one. No, I want this one. I don't know. Which one do I want? I need to trim this one, though. It's too big. I missed one. Sorry, my little... I'm shedding. That's what happens when you get old. You shed. The lighter one. I can't make up my mind. That's okay. So definitely don't be too hard on yourself. Just keep going. Because in the end, when you're all done and you're like, oh wow, or if you're like, ugh, you know what, send that to somebody that's not so high up on your list. That's all you gotta do. Be like, oh, this one is for, you know, that one not so special person in your life. I know many of us have those where you're like, I feel obligated to send a card. Well, save your boo-boo cards for them. That's all. Just save it for somebody else. And so, like here, I got the tape crooked, which I tell you, that happens all the time. So when you peel it back, you just get something and you just grab it and pull it back onto itself. There you go. Okay. Because I love my nails. I'm not shortening them just so I can get a good placement on my tape. You can't make me. Although they do need a little bit of shortening. They've gotten kind of long. Okay, now I'm going to go a little crooked this way on purpose. Because, you know, they're kind of slanting that way. We want to get them back that way. And so actually, will that fit? I just need a thinner one, I think. I think what I'll do is take a little bit off of this one. Now we're going to be extra careful because there's not a lot in here that we can hang on to. So I'm going to place that where I need it. I need to take a sliver off. So I'm using the guidelines here, and I'm going to push extra, extra hard to help take that sliver off. Okay, and then I'm going to do it to this one because I don't want to use both those slivers off the same card. But I do need a little one, maybe about there. Make sure everybody's lined up and give a snip. Get out of there. Okay, so now we have this one and this. Oh yeah, see, that worked out great. Maybe not. Maybe that one's a little too thin. Okay, that works much better. All right. And see, this card's almost done. How fabulous is that? We want the big one first. And I'm just putting a little bit of tape on each end. I don't need a whole string of tape down the whole thing. Doesn't need a whole lot to hold it in place. Come on. OMG. Burnish you down. Try again. Okay, and then this one, we're going to come up just like that. And then this one, I need to make sure that my tape is definitely gonna fit. So I'm gonna just hold that right in there and actually cut that off the end, because that's gonna be a little bit harder placement. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm just gonna go right to there, line that up, and then you can peel it back a little bit and snip it, or snip it right to the edge, either one. Burnish it down this time so that I can actually peel it easier. All right. Down a little. Okay, and then we can, ooh, I like that one. No, I like this one better. It takes up more room. And we just put it on our card. We can, and that's the nice thing about square. Do you want to open your card like this? Or do you want to open your card like this? Now that your lines are running this way, you're going to want your sentiment to cut across. You're not going to want them to go like that. It's going to look weird. Okay. But I'm really digging this card and I'm liking that. But I think this needs just an extra little bit of pop. But before I do that, I just want to show you what we're throwing away now. Okay. That's it. Yes, I'm throwing that away. It's too small for me to deal with. And that was out of all of those scraps. I'm still going to hang on to these two because they're a decent size. I can put a sentiment on those ones. Get these little paper peelings out of there. Okay. All four sides because it's a little bit heavier and a little bit bigger than most of the cards we work with. Now, if you don't have 12 by 12 paper, don't panic. You're going to take your 8.5 by 11 paper and you're going to cut it. Take the 11 and cut it to 5.5 at the 5.5 mark. So you're going to cut the 11 in half and then trim up one of the edges and it will be right. Am I thinking that right? Wait, no, I want this to open. I want that to open like that. Your card will be 5.5 by 5.5 when you're done with the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Okay, so there's that. We want to ink this up just a touch with some orange, I think. I think some orange will look nice with that. We're going to get our little brush. Oh, no, it's not orange. It's yellow. Spice marmalade. I should have known that. That's all right. I've got some yellow in there, so it's all going to work out great. There we go. Yeah, very, very nice. And then you're going to get, you can do it, because these cost a little bit more to mail anyways, if you just do this flat on here, then it won't cost you even more. Or you could pop it up and spend the extra few cents. No big deal. But we're going to do ours flat because I think that's what it needs. Okay. And then our card opens this way. You can decide. I think I do like mine in the center. Oops, not that crooked. All right, so there's one. Very shiny. And see, we've purposely moved things around and made them a little bit crooked so that this doesn't become as noticeable. So there. So there's one. We're going to clean our little mess. Throw our little papers away. Alrighty. And let us pull out this bad boy, because what we're going to do is we had this at 6. I had a little paper. Where'd it go? Kind of knew what I wanted to do. Okay, so the blue, yep, the blue is my 6x6. Okay, so that's going to go there. And then we had our gold. Okay, because isn't that just lovely? We're going to do our gold at 4.5. And that's square, so it's going to be 4.5 all the way around. So we're going to come right up here, 4.5. Okay. And then turn it and do 4.5 again. And then look at that. We can do exactly the same thing on another card. So we've got a nice big area there. I'm really liking that. And then we have our leftover this paper, which we're going to do in a 4x4. So I'm going to set this at the 4. Okay. And then do the 4 again. And you're probably thinking, those are both plaids. Yes, they are. They're different plaids and they're different colors. So yes, I'm going to make them work because I think they look wonderful together. They're not sitting right on top of each other. There's enough room between them. And then this one, I'm thinking needs a little vignette. So remember the vignette. Got a little bit of yellow in there because I didn't clean my brush. That's all right. The vignette, we do kind of a big Y. Okay, just like that. And I think I hear the dinner bell. So as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to put you on a pause and I shall return. So just a momento. And there's our vignette. And we can see how just extra special that looks. Okay, just a little bit of dark color goes a long way. Okay, so that's going to look really good with that. And then I'll be right back with you. All right, how was your pause? For you, it was a mere second. For me, it's been a day. It has been a day. It's a whole new day and so close to another day. So just to refresh me, because I've been gone, we did the background plaid. We did a background square. I do believe that one is, this one's 4.5. So this one is a 4. And then the other one, okay, so this is our base card. So that's a 6x6. Double checking, 4.5 by 4.5. And then our nice little vignette around this, just to give it a little more depth, of a 4x4. I'm just gonna, I don't know why I set them there. I needed to move them. And then I have these little pieces left over out of the sheet that I fussy cut out. And I thought we would try out some watercolor crayons. I've had these forever. I don't know if they still make them. I'm sure somebody probably has them. Just water. They're like a watercolor pencil, just in a crayon form. And we're going to do it like one of our other videos with the crayons, where we're just going to pick areas. Ooh, the color still goes on good. we're just going to pick areas and add some color. Now with watercolor pencils, watercolor crayons, you don't have to fill the paper in 100% because the water you add will draw those colors out. So this green is a very pale green, and even though I don't like it, I'm just going to add it to it all because I already made a mark. That one's a better green. Just willy-nilly. I was watching Tracy's live, and they were talking about the gem placement, because she had watched it on Ryan's live where they do a Z pattern, and I was just thinking about it just now when I was doing my willy-nilly. I started here, went there, and went there. I started here, went there, and then went there. So yeah, it's kind of like a zigzag pattern. So that's interesting. Never really paid attention before. And I do groups of 3, odd numbers. You know, that's more fun and pleasing to the eye. And if you like watching people live, definitely check out the FSC admins, and there's a spit it out. There's a post that all the people that have YouTube videos post in. So there's a lot of FSCers that have YouTube, so you can definitely go check those out. Now I'm going to bring in the highlight color, the one color that stands out the most. So we don't want a ton of that, or we do. I don't know. What do we feel like? And yep, right on the glass mat, because you know what? That glass mat can take a lot of crazies we throw at it, and it will clean right up. So just uber willy-nilly. You can see I've got a lot of white spots that I didn't get. Trying to judge where that camera is. Sorry about that. I'll stand up in a minute when we get them all done. Now I want to add some sparkle to the leaves. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pull out the gold color, I think. Because we have some gold in the background, we're going to pull out some gold. And I'm going to get the water flowing because we want to juice up. If it's a dry palette, you want to juice it up, whether you spritz it or just put a wet brush in it. I want to juice it up, get some color out of there, and then I want to clean off my brush a little bit because this is just regular paper. It's not going to take water very well, but a little bit of water is okay. So now I'm just going to take that color and smoosh it around. And if I get too much water on it, I'm just going to dab it off. Right off the page onto the... Oh, wow. Those are just blending so nice. Oh, yeah. I'm liking that. I'm hoping there's shimmer because I can't really see it. Maybe I'll add more directly. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Just dab a little bit more. Because you can always go back after it dries and add more shimmer. That was actually a little too much. And again, you just dab it off if you do too much. Okay. So I'll get this moving around. Oh, I like that. I don't know why I haven't used these crayons more. Those are pretty. They move really good, and they're years old. They've been hanging out in my stash. I wonder if there's a date on them things. Nope, lots of different languages though. Huh. But yeah, I've had them for a long time. Just another medium to play with. Okay, so now I'm going to take the gold and just dab it in. And let's, oh yeah. Ooh. That one doesn't have enough. So I'm just going to come in and add some more. I think that one had enough. Yeah, it's got enough. This one is not enough. Maybe a little too much now, but get rid of that white. Oh yeah, fabulous. Okay, I'm gonna clean off my brush, and that's all I do. I just get a little extra water, swirl it around, wipe it off, swirl it around, wipe it off, and it's all done. Use that water you just clean the brush with and clean up your other mess. Pretty slick, huh? All right, gonna have to use those more. Now, make sure my spot is dry. So we're gonna start adhering. So I'm gonna use my new buddy. Yeah, I like this glue. I've got some other glue on the way, the Barely Art glue. Ordered that off of Amazon. And I used an affiliate's Amazon shop for Nancy stamps. So if you have a YouTuber that says, hey, I have these in my Amazon shop, what you do is you click on their link, okay? And when you go shopping, even if you don't buy stuff out of their suggestion piles, if you open Amazon through their link, they're going to get that credit of acknowledgement, and Amazon's going to throw them a little bone, and that little bone helps their channels grow. So if you can, anytime you go shopping, even if it's for a bag of potato chips, click on somebody's affiliate link. You'll really make them happy. Now, I found the liquid glue does leave bubbles in that. So we're going to tape that one down if we can find the end of the tape-a-roni. Here we go. So we're going to tape that one down. Just 4 little pieces is all it needs. And then I know that that glue does not stick to the front of the card. So again, we're just going to do tape on the back. And then switching out your supplies, like using glue and tape, will definitely stretch your supplies. Because when I'm not rushing and doing these, sometimes I'll throw a little bit of the Craft Bond Elmer's glue. That's a really good glue for paper crafting. Surprising enough, it's really good. Don't get the school kind. Get the Craft Bond. It's got more stick to it. Because they're assuming that more adult-friendly fingers are playing with it. Whereas the school glue is meant to, you know, wash out of the kids' clothes and not be so sticky. Eyeballing for center. And voila. I guess it doesn't matter because it's all square. It's going to matter when we place our leaves. And I'm looking here, down here, and then across the bottom. If you can make 3 good contact points, then your other side's going to be okay. And if it's a little off, it's a little off. So I want to make sure this is open to me. And see, we didn't use very much water, so they're all dry now in that little bit of time. And look, it doesn't rub off. Isn't that fabulous? So I just wanted to do a little something. I'm not sure if I want to do two. Ooh, I think it's going to be that way. 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top, and then do I don't like that. I think maybe I'll handwrite it in. Should I? Here we go. We're going to handwrite that in. Where's my pencil? I like to pencil first. Okay. So those are going to go there, and that's going to go there. Kind of right there. So I want we can move that leaf out a little. Greetings is 2 E's, right? So yeah, that would work. Greetings. Okay, yeah, it is 2. Because I have season's blessings there, of course. Greetings. Okay. Then we just take either a felt pen or a water brush, or not a, something with, I guess I better make sure this pen works. Yay. Okay, so here we go. And I'm fortunate because there's lines. And look at letters as images, little tiny images. And those images are just made up of curves, lines, and connections. Ha! Okay, and then if you did draw a line, if you get a Mars plastic eraser, I found these are the best for erasing lines off of paper without messing stuff up. And some pens, I don't know if you could tell, but this pen dimmed back. Okay. And that's okay, because now what I'm going to do is go over it with a fine liner, because those give off a little bit more black, but not that one because it's too thin. I want a thick one. Here we go. And don't panic if you go off course. We can always hide a boo-boo. Going over it a second time will allow you to add some flare in spots. Now see right here I didn't quite connect, so we just do another line. Nobody's gonna know. And if you give your ink a little bit of time to dry, most of the time it won't fade back like that. But I went to erasing right away. Usually I do it and then get a batch of stuff done, then erase. And then be careful, because some pens, if you get a pen that you can tell is still wet, you can just move it to the side and leave it there. If you're in a rush, the best and easiest thing to do is get yourself, let me pull one out for you. Say you're writing a beautiful letter with your pen and you're like, it's taking forever to dry, okay? Regular notebook paper, copier paper, something thin, okay? Put your hand on the back of the paper and let it flop. And then smooth, okay? Gently lift and move your paper, because it'll pick up the dots. Do the same thing. Hold your paper, let go, smooth, and you'll pick up those little dots. And then you can kind of look to see if it's dry. And I like to do the finger test, straight down, straight up, and see if anything's left. So that's how you can clean if it's not drying fast enough for you. That's how the old pen masters used to do it, because, you know, they were using fountain pens and stuff. They'd have a piece of parchment down and they would dab up the little driblets. I bet you didn't know that, did you? Or you probably did. Old school stuff there. Okay, so we just need a little piece of tape on the back of these, because we don't mind if they curl up. It kind of gives them a little bit of character. We're just going to tape them down the center. Oops. And I am using the double stick because they are curvy, and it's going to go on that metallic paper. Okay. And see, this could be a season's greetings, even though we might associate that a little more with Christmas. You know, Thanksgiving is a season too. And there we go. There's another one. Let me check my time. Okay, it's about 20 minutes. The other one was about 40. This one, I think we can get done pretty quick. This one I saw and I was like, oh, this one I think is going to be easy peasy. Okay. We're going to work right on the 6x6 base with this one. And we're going to need to do some chopping. Okay. This is going to be the fun part. Okay. We know that this piece is not big enough. It's not. Oh, that's not going to work. I need it to be 6x6. Okay. We need to cover the base of the card, but all we have are scraps. So we're going to make a 6x6. We're going to figure out what it is. It is 4.5. So half of 4 is 2, and then half of that half is 1/4. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So now we filled 2/3 of it. Okay. Now we're going to get our other piece. We need another 6-inch piece. Okay. And now we've covered the other part of it. Okay. Now, I didn't cut any of these down. Remember, we cut the one strip and we had the 4x4 left from cutting that. And I said, oh, we can make another card, right? So there we go. We set that on there. Or no, what did we, I wanted to put it on this one. And then put that on there. But we're going to trim this piece down to frame that piece, because this piece was just another little piece left over too. Okay. So we're just using the leftover pieces. Okay, so we have this, and we have this. Now I think we can still do this. No, that looks funny now because those aren't square. That's all right. If you do everything square, you could put that in a diamond form. Because I was thinking, yeah, Season's Blessings is going to go in there. But I think that's too much gold. We're going to take that down a little bit more. I don't really like that. We are just going to do a little bit of gold around this. Come on. And then that'll give us more of, yeah. Oh yeah, I like that much better. But I kind of do want to do, oh yeah, okay. That's what we need to do. I think I need to trim the back up just a hair. Just a hair. Okay, good. Right? That'll, yeah, I think I'm going to make the back be the same width as this piece. Cross our fingers, it'll still look good. Okay, right there. Okay, so here we go. We're going to tape those down. And we just need a piece at the top or the bottom, whichever the case may be. Okay, and one down the middle, because we're going to have other pieces working with it. Okay. Now we need to make sure how we're going to open this card. I think it's going to open this way. Eraser bits, eraser bits. And here, all we got to do is align the top. I think I'm going to line it at the crease here, and then, because it's a little bit too long, I'll cut it off the bottom when it's all said and done. And then we're going to line it up at the top and down the side. See, it was just a little off. And either the foil was off or my cardstock. Either one, it doesn't matter. Okay, and then we're going to do this one down the center. And we know that the glue won't stick to the front of the card, so again we're going to use our double stick tape. Okay, and one right down the center. We're going to do it straight up down so it catches that little white area. Come on. Nope. Burnish, burnish, burnish. All right. Again, start at the top And now I'm going to eyeball the, I'm not going to look at this because these might not be exact. I'm going to look up at the top and judge this with this. And I think I actually got it pretty good. Okay. And then this is pretty heavy, so we're going to do some tape. Gotta love this tape. It's so cheap and easy to work with. Yeah. And then one down the center. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Nope. I said burnish. Thank you. Ooh, you're being stinky. If it's being stubborn, just rub it extra good. Because this paper is a little bit porous, even on the back side. Okay. Oh, that's a piece of paper. Get off there. Okay, and then we're opening that way. So I want my spot on the bottom. Ta-da! All right, that's right, we did it. Oh, we did it like that. Okay. Is that going to be okay if we open it like this? Yes, it'll be fine. Haha. See, sometimes our boo-boos are okay. Oh yeah, we need to peel the other side. I only stuck down one side just in case it was really off. And it's easier to try and mangle up one side than it is both. Okay. And then one final, well, two final pieces. And then this one is just basically a bunch of layers of our scraps. I mean, how wonderful is that? Didn't have to cut anything else up. We already had it from our other cards. Okay, and then the hardest part, I think, will be choosing a color to go over this. And I'm thinking we've got some, it almost looks like the triple berry in there. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, look, there's even blue in it. Wonder what happened there. I've got something blue on me. Well, I'll be darned. Something got me. That's all right. Because what we can do, you know, accidents happen, right? I'm going to go in and grab some blue and bring it in somewhere else. Just like that. Oops, don't bend on me. And yep, bring it right into the card. Because we don't want it to think it was, oh, see, just, and look, it almost made it like it was meant to be. Triple berry. See, almost got those mixed up. Alright, so now we're gonna adhere our sign down, and this card is finito, all done. How fabulous is that? Oops. Not what I wanted to do, but it will work. All right. There. Ta-da! Our card of scraps. How wonderful is that? So those are the 3 cards we made with all of our leftovers. And yeah, you're probably yelling at me, clean your mess, dork. But look, I didn't get it all messy. Let me stand up and we can zoom in. See how we hit it with some blue in there? And then that blue right there kind of fades back a little bit. But I mean, we can still see it. But and all these, get a clean spot on my rag. Before you mail them, just give them a little wipe. It'll all clean up. Okay. So there's that one. There's that one we hand wrote. And of course, you could print something that you know is going to fit there. Okay. There's that one. All the leftover pieces. Should we... Where are my other cards? They're right here. Okay. So this is what we made from all the same paper. 12 by 12 sheet of blue made 4 cards. 1, 2, 3 watercolor panels made 4 cards. 1 sheet of paper with a design on it made 3 cards. Our little stamp. Oops, I'm missing one. Oh, he fell on the floor. And then 2 stamps with the same, this is the same 12 by 12 sheet of plaid. 1 sheet of cardstock. 2 sheets of the fancy stuff, but you know what? It still looks good. All that, and what is it? A 5-day series, and it's all filmed in real time aside from the fussy cutting and the printing and the stamping of 2, I think I did off camera. But if you stamp a bunch of stuff, have it ready, have your sentiments ready, then all you got to do is pull up the backgrounds and stuff and go for it. This was a lot of fun. I hope something here inspires you to go get crafty and make some beautiful art. Doesn't even have to be cards. It could be scrapbooking or do this in a large format. How pretty would that be with your favorite saying hanging on the wall? Okay. Well, I will see you next time, my friends. Have a great day. Bye-bye.